Hi, Mary. Very, very welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. So excited to chat with you.
Super excited.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we had a chat.
I know, and it all started. Like I think I have been following you from the very, very start. And I feel like we've never met in real life, but I feel like I know
Yeah,
you so well.
and then I've been following you as well. It was back in COVID, and COVID had just hit, and I've been following your page anyway for the beauty end of things. I love your reviews and everything you were doing. And then next of all, my sister texts me. She goes, "Rhona, your video." So as TikTok kicked in, I turned demented and went out to my shed and started. I said, I'm going to try out this TikTok thing. And I made like 5 videos. I think it was my fifth video you shared. And it didn't do great on TikTok, it didn't do great on Facebook, anywhere I shared it. And my sister said, have you seen your video over on Mary O'Donnell's page? And I was like, no. She was, I think it's at like 500,000 hits. And I was like, what? I was getting text messages from my family in America. There was somebody in Hawaii texting me. Everyone was texting me all over the place. And I was following you then more going, oh my God, you're sharing. And I think it got to the end of like 2.5 million or something like that.
So that, and you were on radio.
Yeah, so the radio contacted me and asked me, he said, would the presenter was telling me that it was his favorite TikTok of the year. And he brought me on to do an interview about it. It was hilarious. But I was being stopped everywhere I went. And I was stalking your page and going, oh my God, look how many hits. It was amazing. So yeah, you started that gave me the confidence to keep going with TikTok. And I look back at some of those TikToks and think I was having a mental breakdown during COVID.
No, you have dramatically changed your whole life.
Yeah, it's been a lot of change since probably around the time of that video. At that time, I was in a relationship. We kind of broke up during the COVID time, but we're still obviously living together. And so I have two younger kids with special needs. I have an older boy who's Asperger's, but my two younger, my little boy is autistic and dyspraxia and dyslexia. My little girl is Down syndrome. So yeah, it was kind of a crazy time. Molly was having a surgery in the middle of all this, and then realizing kind of the relationship that I was in wasn't a healthy relationship, and learning all about that. And I decided it was actually my 48th birthday in COVID, and I stood on the scales and it came up error. And I was stalking the program 600 pounds and more, those ones.
Yes, yes.
Had to weigh people on a meat scales in a factory. They couldn't weigh them. And I actually reached that on scales. I went over 24 stone and it came up as error. It wouldn't be. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to. I've never really bothered by my weight. I was always big, but it never really held me back too much outwardly. Like it bothered me. I always wanted to lose weight, but I've done every diet and everything I could. But it was just kind of, I never really looked at why I was eating. It was always what I was eating. And I stood on scales that day and I went, this instant realization that I wasn't able to walk up and down the stairs without nearly having a heart attack. I couldn't sit. I had broken chairs. I was doing a wedding a few weeks before that, and I sat in a chair and it broke underneath me. And then I sat in the bed and the legs ran out. It was just these things were starting to happen and happen. And I just went, you know what? I'm actually going to die if I don't do something serious. Like, because I have to be here for my kids. Now we were breaking up. I was going to be a single mom with the kids. And I have to do something. So yeah, so I decided that was the day I made the decision, right, I've got 2 years till I'm 50. I'm going to rock my 50th. And I had the time during COVID to go, right, reassess your life. I'd started counseling online. I started really positive affirmations, really a lot of work to take time out for myself. And I think TikTok was my little time out to myself because I was like, oh, I have to go and do some videos. So I was able to get away from the kids for a while and actually have a bit of me time, have a bit of fun. And TikTok to me was great fun. I blogged my beauty. I ended up launching a skincare range at the time. And yeah, so it was all a bit crazy. So I booked then to get a gastric bypass done. Because it was like, right, I need to do this in 2 years. So I don't have the time to start going, let's start eating healthily today. I need something quicker and faster because I've done the diet. I know how to diet. I know how to lose weight. So I got a gastric bypass and I was very lucky. I lost 12 stone in 12 months. I literally lost a stone a month. It fell off me. And a lot of people don't have that journey, but I was very lucky that way. And everything was great. I separated then, and then we went. I started really rebuilding my life and everything like that. I had skin removal surgery done then, which made me feel amazing. On the outside, but on the inside, I still wasn't fixed. I still wasn't healing myself. I still hadn't really done the work. I hadn't really looked at why I was putting on the weight because when you lose weight with like people think you get a gastric bypass, it's a quick, easy fix. It's not at all. Like you have transfer addiction. So if you don't deal with the issues that caused you to gain weight in the first place, you can bring them with you. And that's exactly what I did. So I ended up jumping into another toxic relationship, which was 10 times worse, and with an absolute narcissist, and didn't see it coming, telling everybody, trying to put on the brave front of everything, going, "No, everything's wonderful." And, "Oh, he wouldn't do that." And, "Oh, he's not cheating on me." And really had no boundaries and had no self-respect, and just was letting myself go. So losing the weight didn't make me feel any better inside. It just looked a bit better, but now I had all this loose skin and got rid of that, and I still was not happy. So that was when I decided, right, I really need to do this properly this time. So I put lots more work in, came up with a few routines that really helped me to change my thinking. And decided I kind of learned how to set my boundaries. I learned how to see what I actually want. Who am I? Who the hell am I? And what do I want in my life? And once I had that kind of mapped out, I decided that's my line. Nothing else I'm going to accept in my life. If it's not on this upwards, I'm not having it in my life. And that's how I set my boundaries, because I didn't know how to set boundaries. And I did. And then a couple of weeks, I finished with him, would be nice. And then a couple of weeks later, I met my fabulous partner now, John, who came into my life as a normal person. And it's so funny because the first couple of weeks, it's actually really hard to be loved normally. And I'm still struggling with that. We're 3 years together now. And even today, we had a conversation about it. Like, I don't know. I've never had a normal relationship up to him, and he's not perfect. And it's a fantastic relationship. We've been very open, talkative, communicative relationship, but and we have our own lives very separately, and then we have our lives together, and we're very involved together, but we also do our own thing, and it's very important to him, and it's very important to me. And we respect that with each other. There's no jealousy, there's none of that. But I still struggle to go, because I was love bombed so much in those relationships, and everything was about, everything had to be so intense. Like, and so funny, John just said to me sometimes, going, like, that's rose tinted glasses. That's not real life. Love language is different from different things. I'm here for you. I'll do everything, this for you, that for you, that for you. But I don't have to,
No.
put it around every day. And I was starting to see that as not being love, if that makes sense, because it's all like,
Yes.
anyway, I'm still learning, still developing, still growing, as is he, and as is all the kids and all the family. But we have to change everything around. Lost. I put back on about 2 stone now, so I'm hovering just nicely at 10 stone loss. But it's still hard work. I still have to look at every bite I eat every day. It's not, now to watch, make sure I have enough protein in, so I don't,
Yeah.
because calories are easy to get in, and they put on weight. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind of about 4 years, and in between all that, I ended up setting up a company with John and another partner, and we now have a company that I absolutely love and adore. So, and products that have changed my life and changed my kids' lives. So, and you've been kindly trying out for the last while as well.
And loving everything. So what, just tell me how the brand came to be.
Yeah, so basically, so my brand is Focus by Rhona X, and it's CBD oil. Um, 8 years ago, I knew absolutely nothing about CBD oil. I had all I thought of when I heard of CBD oil was drugs. It has to be something to do with cannabis and marijuana, and I'm totally anti-drugs, completely anti-drugs. So as Joshua was diagnosed at 2.5, kind of 2 to 2.5, with severe autism, nonverbal. And he was stimming all the time. He had no interaction. He wouldn't eat, he'd only eat yellow food. He didn't sleep. I think he slept about an hour a night, bounced day and night, constantly stimming, screeching, crying, meltdowns. It was a really, really tough time. And in between that, I'd Molly having heart surgery. So there was a lot going on at the time. And I was there one day, and there was a nurse in visiting Molly, and Josh was having a meltdown. I said, "Look, I have to just look after him for a second, because he was quite dangerous, and he was a flight risk as well." So she said, "Look, go ahead." Because I understand my nephew has got autism as well, so I understand what you're great. So off she went. I looked after Joshua, got him calmed down after about 20 minutes, and I went in and I said, "Look, I'm really sorry." She goes, "Have you ever tried CBD oil?" And I was like, "I'm not giving my kids drugs. Are you mad?" And she's like, "No," she said, "this is actually the CBD without the THC. So it has minimal traces of THC, which is the one that's addictive and that's gives you the high. It's the marijuana type one. This one is basically a food supplement. So what it does is actually encourages all the systems in your body to work better. It's just like a fueling for the system. So it actually only works, it doesn't actually do anything to you. It just makes your own body work better. But in particular, with the nervous system, with anxiety, stress, with stimming, with overstimulating, and which is basically what kids with autism and adults with autism have much more higher stimulation, so they get triggered easier. So where stimming would happen would be, I think even for me who doesn't have autism, when I get overwhelmed with something, I could start tapping, or you could be going, oh, that's stimming in our world. But in with children in particular, it presents more as the hands flapping or the running or going into your own little world. So I was like, well, I'll try anything. I looked into it, I Googled, and I can only see positive results. So we're going back 8 years. Nobody talked about CBD in Ireland at that stage. So I got it in from America through a company here. And we started, I told him nobody was doing it, and sent him into crash that day. And I collected him that evening. And I was like, I'll say nothing, just see. Gosh, he was in fantastic form today. And I was like, really? So I was going, Jinx was, and yeah, and he ate some vegetables. Now, at this stage, Josh had eaten vegetables in a year. So I was like, oh my God. I came home going, oh my God, could this be happening? Yeah. So the next day, yeah, great day. He had spaghetti bolognese today. I'm like, really? So this went on for the week. And then slowly but surely, like within 2 weeks, his eye contact came back. He started looking at me and like when I called his name, I had him check if he was deaf and everything. I'd call him my name, or I'd call his name and he'd react to me. And then he'd come over walking to me, looking at me. I remember the first time I did, I bawled my eyes out going, I was videoing it going, he's looking at me, he's looking at me. And like when you have an autistic child, those things are monumental, like monumental. So then he slowly stopped stimming very quickly, like over the next couple of weeks. I brought him to occupational therapy for his monthly appointment. And she was like, what's happened to him? He's like 6 months down the line of where we were aiming to get to, which I didn't actually think we were going to get to. He was already here. He'd stopped stimming. He started sharing. Eye contact was in. He was starting to make a few sounds. He started eating lots of foods. Started sleeping at night. Hallelujah. And started just coming back and interacting with us and watching telly and playing with his toys rather than just throwing them everywhere. And this happened over months, but I video blogged the whole thing. So I have a video diary done on my Instagram page, but it was amazing. So I was kind of going, well, I need to take this and see. No, I was convinced. I was very calm. I do Reiki and I do wellness and I did my, do all my affirmation stuff. But I was going, so I don't really need it. So I'll just try it. I took it for 2 weeks. Didn't really feel a massive difference, being honest with you. And then I came off it. And it was only when I came off it, I went, oh my God, actually, I can feel the anxiety building in me now. And I've just realized I've been sleeping so well the last few days. So it's not like it's a sudden hit. So I think people, when they start CBD oil, think how it's going to have this hit, a one-time hit. And people often don't give it enough time to actually work because it's down to your system and how it absorbs it. So if it takes your system longer than other people's to work, you have to give it the time to work. You have to take it consistently every day. So I've been on it for 7.5 years. John's on it. My family are on it. The whole lot of the kids are on it.
I'm on it.
And you're on it. And we live a very calm life. Even though it's hectic and mayhem, it just takes that edge off. But how have you been finding? You've been on it now a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I have like that now. I've much calmer. I can take I haven't so many things crazy, like a really crazy life. I feel I can just deal with things better. And I think I would have been far more reactive to people before. And now
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, let them, it's fine, it's grand. I just seem to be calmer in myself.
Yeah, it's like your tolerance levels go from here to here. Like it's like,
Yeah.
Before I used to find like when I come in, the kids would be mayhem in the house or they have to spilling Coke everywhere or something like that. I'd be ready to kill them. And I was like, okay, should we just clean it up and we'll get it done and we'll do that. And don't get me wrong, menopause is a whole different ball game. And I do have my moments. And it's actually very funny now. Joshua comes into me now going, Mom, I think you need a little bit more. I'm like, okay, honey, I'll take it. He'll actually tell me when he feels I need it. And that's the thing, you take more on the days that are worse, that you need a little to get you through those little stages.
Yeah, and I
Because
think
menopause is,
no, absolutely not. Yeah, I think any age you can get, we take it. But I do feel, Rhona, that anybody who's kind of watching for the first time, I think there will be a little fear around it.
yeah.
Yeah.
If the questions I get on a daily basis are the same, I can wind them off to you. Will you get high? Absolutely not. So the levels of THC are less than 0.2%. So we're talking about a minimum trace. So you have to be over 0.3% to have any sort of level. But it's all third-party tested. It's tested by the HSE. The pharma's constantly checked. So it's completely has to be under that level to be legal in Ireland and England. So there's no addictiveness, there's no habit forming, there's no high, there's none of that. It's like if you imagine it's a sister plant of the cannabis plant. So it's a hemp plant it comes from. And basically, if you might, the way I always say is if you're at a wedding and you have two cousins and you have the crazy one over here dancing on the tables, giving the socks, and then you have the chilled out cousin over here chilling out, relaxing and enjoying it. We're the chilled out version going, let them off, let them have their party. They're the ones who are high and crazy and all that kind of stuff. So no, basically, it's classed as a food supplement in Ireland. It's legally classed as a food supplement. So it's like a multivitamin. There's no high, you don't get addicted. They're the question you ask all the time. Can you take too much? Absolutely not. So it's your body will only absorb what it needs, but taking too little will kind of won't do enough for you. So you don't be afraid of doses. Like I've often taken 6, 7 doses in a day, often, and there's absolutely no effect. And we had so a lot of people. The other thing people hate is the taste. And initially, so this is our oil, the CBD oil. It's the original one. So obviously shake it well. It is an oil. You have yours there. So basically, your dosage on this one is basically a dropper morning and night. So a full dropper morning and night. If you don't feel you need that much, you could do half a dropper, and then on days that are bad, you could have a little bit more. So you have to find your own sequence with it. And some people, need less. I need plenty more. So I could live on this all day. I actually don't know how people go through the day without this. So with the tincture one, it is a strong taste. It is earthy.
It is.
It is a strong taste, and that's because it's a premium. It is completely organic. It is vegan. It is full spectrum, which means it's basically there's nothing else in this bar, the seeds and the oil, and that's it. And that it's and the cold press extraction means that it has all the benefits. So people often go into the Holland and Bard or any of those sort of shops to look at, and there's like 100 CBD products that don't know what to take. So what I would say to you, you need to have a full spectrum one, which is going to give you all of the benefits. So the full spectrum means it's the whole plant, right?
Okay.
In particular, so there's different strengths for different things, but for anxiety, stress, and the autism kind of end of things and menopause, the full spectrum basically it's all of the parts of the plant, like they're full of cannabinoids. CBD is only one cannabinoid, there's hundreds of cannabinoids in the plant. So it's all the cannabinoids working together is what makes our oil work so good. That's why we get results that we're getting, because it's not just CBD. CBD is only one element, but it's high quality organic plant that is making oil. It's called the entourage effect. So all of these are helping each other to work better. So one is helping the CBD to work better. Then you have omegas, you have vitamins, you have all these things, and they're boosting the whole system. So that's why. So that's why it tastes earthy. So basically, under the tongue, that's it. Have a little drink ready to go if you have a taste.
Water ready, yeah.
So then what we did was we found because so many autism families in particular, that's why I started blogging it about, we're on it, and they're finding kids couldn't take the time, adults couldn't like the taste of it. So we had a scientist over in England create the oil and change it to a very, very sophisticated system into our water soluble version. So this is the very, very rare to get, and this is the full spectrum of the oil. So basically, again, shake it very well. So into any drink, water, tea, anything like, you're going to put 6 sprays into your drink and basically stir it and drink it. And that is tasteless. It's more or less 100% tasteless.
There's no taste, yeah.
Yeah. Now, it will discolor water. So with children, I say to put into juice or into coconut. So if they're sensitive, just change the colors. I have it. So I do a mixture of both. I have my oil morning and night. I find that is my balance. And then during the day, if I need to top up, I'll throw it into my cup of tea or my coffee during the day. And then last year, then we brought out the gummies. So these are full spectrum CBD gummies.
Yeah.
These are actually so gorgeous and tasty. I can't leave them in the car too long because I'll just start munching on them.
Yeah.
So one of these is the equivalent of like nearly say half a dose of the oil or 6 sprays of the water.
Okay.
Only thing, so there is people who, we have plenty of customers who are just on the gummies if they don't like the other thing. But what I would say is they go through the digestive system, so they take longer to kick in. And so they're better as a top up. They're better off having your water or having your oil on a daily basis. And then during the day, if you're out and about, stick them in your car. Like we have a 50 pack as well. We're actually sold out at the moment.
Yeah. The big pack, yeah.
Really handy for your car or handbag. Like if you're out with the kids or you're out with family, or you're in the traffic and you find yourself building up, just pop a gummy, and then that takes the edge off everything during the day. just helps that calm down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 3 products, but they're all the same dose, like they're all the same quality, they're all the same CBD, they're all the same thing. They're just 3 different ways of taking them.
And if you were starting out and you were to say, okay, menopausal, just feel, you know, I'm not sleeping well, I feel I'm really anxious, I wasn't an anxious person before, where would you to start just to introduce you to it? What would you recommend?
So I would say if you can take the taste, right, I would go with the CBD. I just find with menopause, it has that little extra edge on the menopausal side.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the water soluble do fine as well. I just find personally, again, it's down to everybody and what works best for everybody. Some people find it the other way. But then I have the gummies, as I say, during the day for the top up. But I find the oils a little bit stronger for the menopause symptoms of it. And like we all know, menopause brings a whole new crazy. It brings like anxiety that we never knew we had. Now, unfortunately, this does not help with the putting your keys into the fridge and bringing the coffee into the bag and that crazy stuff that goes on with that. But it really does help. Like I actually it was only when I was in the hospital last year, having just a surgery done, and I had to come off the CBD oil for the stomach surgery. I had to come off it for 2 weeks because you wanted just to have my stomach really rested and everything like that. And I was dreading it. I was like, oh God, I'm going to do CBD oil. Anyway, I came off for 2 weeks, and during the 2 weeks, I was in the hospital and I was lying there going, oh my God, something happened. There's something happened. I was ringing the bell. She was like, what's going on? What's going on? She goes, I said, there's heat coming up. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm going to pass out. I think I'm going to. And she's like, Rhona, you're having a hot flush, darling.
Yeah.
So I never had a hot flush. I never had night sweats. The only time I've ever had is when I came off the CBD. For me, because what it does, it regulates the hormone system as well.
Yeah.
It regulates all the body. So it helps to regulate them more and keep them more even. So you don't get those mad high flushes. So lots of people who tried it have evened out their
Yeah.
flushes. Not got rid of them, but even them out a lot and not as severe as they were. And it does help with mood swings. It helps your tolerance levels from your breathing too loud to, I won't actually hurt you because you're breathing too loud. So it helps with all of that end of things as well. So I mean, it's a godsend for menopausal women, honest to God, because there's so many changes go on that we don't know. Because I mean, I remember when I started, and like I'm 50, I'm nearly 50, I'm 53 next week. I was like, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was kind of going to the doctor, and everyone just laughs because when you know, you know. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh gosh, that's what it is, you know. But I have to say, I found that very, very beneficial, even for sleeping at night and everything like that, and just
Yeah.
relaxing your body and overthinking and the brain going 100 miles an hour. It just calms it and that's what I call it focus. It just helps you to focus on what you're doing.
And yeah, and definitely with the sleeping. And I think if you're sleeping better, you cope with the next day better. You know, when you have an awful lot on, and like even at the moment, like I was even like just like watching the news, everybody is so unsure of our future. Everybody has anxiety, more anxiety now than ever.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially kids and teenagers.
Yeah.
They have such a stressful lives because I think after COVID as well, they lost the ability of personal space and personal talking to people in real life because everything's online. Everybody shops online. They do everything online. They play online. And I even see it with Joshua, even with his birthday party. We were having his 11th birthday party the other day, and he was like, I don't know whether I can invite them because, even he sees him in school, it was like, it's outside of school, it's outside of the norm where we grew up in the streets and
Normal.
they were thrown out late and they got home at 11 at night. You know what I mean? It was just like you
Yeah,
made friends with
different.
your life.
Yeah.
How difficult, so stressful for them. So we have so many teenagers, young adults who are used to find helping cope with college and exams and passing a driving test. And I had a lovely guy on there a while ago. I'm like, my driving test, I don't know what to do. And I was like, take some gummies at half an hour before you go, or afraid of flying. Amazing for the plane, just even to relax you on the plane because it's
Yeah.
quite, it's quite intense and
So
noisy.
Rhona, the next question people are going to be asking me, price wise.
So our range is, goes from, again, we have 2 size bottles. So I'm going to show you here as well. In the oil, for example, we have a half size and a full size. So we brought out this smaller bottle, and it's really for people to try it for 2 weeks. This lasts about 2 weeks. This lasts about a month.
Yeah.
And this way you can try it out and see how you get on. Or see if you prefer the taste, or you can try the smaller one in the water as well. And we will come back. So we have a great Mary O'Donnell bundle for you.
Mm.
Really, what you're talking about is less than €2 a day for your oil.
Okay.
For the month. And people kind of go because it is. a lot to invest in a month's thing. And this is because it's absolute premium product. But when you look at €2 wouldn't even get you a copy now.
No, it
£4.50.
wouldn't.
I €7 I paid in one of the coffee
Yeah.
places. Did a heart attack. So it's nothing compared to, to have a restful day, to be in control of your life. Money is when I was starting on, like I back in the beginning, going back 8 years, I think I was paying like 300 a bottle back then.
Yeah.
I would have paid 1,000. I didn't care where it came
Yeah.
from. When this works for you, nothing's going to replace it.
Yeah. And peace of mind is everything.
Yeah, and your ability to function and to see
Yeah.
through the cloud. I think you shared a really interesting story with me as well about like sometimes the fog can be so bad when you have anxiety and stress that's hard to see the solution, which is standing right in front of you. It's like people say to me, "You just stop eating, you lose weight." But I had so much of the anxiety and stress going on in my life. I knew how to get there, but I just couldn't get there. And
Yeah.
what I do is it just silence that noise and lets you through the fog. Go, oh, why don't I just do that?
Yeah.
It makes those decisions easier and makes your life easier. And um, it's that's why we because when I met John first, I had various different business going on. It's like I talk every day nonstop to people all day long. Like, at 2 in the morning, I could still be texting somebody going, "I'm trying to see what you do," because I know what it was like to be there. I know what it was like to be going through, separation, going through single parenting, going through children with special needs, being a carer. And like being a carer is such hard, whether it's family member or whether it's children or whether it's partner or friends or anything or yourself. You give so much of yourself away that it's hard to find that reason to pull back and go, do you know what, I need something for me. And
That's
that's
right.
what it allowed me to do. It allowed me to go, do you know, I deserve a little bit of me time too.
Meantime.
And it's hard to pat yourself on the back and go, no, I don't have to give everything. I can be there as much as I can, but I'm allowed to be me too, because it is a tough, tough job.
And you look absolutely amazing.
So what can I just say? It's not something that like CBD oil is only one of the tools I've used to get to where I am to change my whole life around. And like if I did it at 48, as a single mom with 3 kids, I'm telling you, anybody can do it. It's just a matter about finding a way through that fog that you can actually see what life can be and being, positive and determined. And it's not to say, as I say, I don't have bad days, but those bad days I might take some extra CBD oil. I'll be aware of it and I'll go back and kind of figure out what I
Yeah.
need to do,
And
and it's
my advice to anybody is to stick with it. That you really do need to stick with it for the first 4 weeks to see the results.
and say so sometimes it's only when people come off it. We always see a little downturn and some people come off it and then go, oh God, what's going on? Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We have people on it now 2.5 years since we started.
Yeah.
And and we do have subscription things that are coming up for their regular use, and we look after our customers really well. Because again, like the lads would kill me because I'm like, I would give it all for free if I could, because I know what it's like to be,
Works.
and I know how hard it is to see that. But it does work and it does help so many people. And I think when I get the messages in, we have Facebook groups which are helpful groups, and we have and they're all private groups, so you can share your stories, especially special needs parents. We have a group there that is on WhatsApp. And the stories that come in there on a daily basis, like I cry every day because the stories come in going, oh, my child just said mommy for the first time at age 7.
Oh,
Like to know what it is, to not know what your child sounds like at 7 after 7 years of having a child, it's heartbreaking. It really
yeah.
is the hardest thing. So that makes me cry every day. And
Of
that
course
brings me
it
back
does.
on here. And it's really just educating people that it's not dangerous. It's not a drug. It's a
It's
helpful.
an aid. Yeah. I'd describe it as an aid.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so it's only one of the tools, you have to do the rest of the work as well to make everything else work. But it's definitely a huge aid to get to that.
Right. So we have bundles, you were telling me earlier.
First time we've ever done this. So what we've done is we created a bundle just for you. So
Woo-hoo. Feeling
on
special.
bundle are the beauty water bundles. So basically, so this is the Pure Skin Oil, which is our pure hemp seed oil. And this is the best skincare. This is the only skincare I've used for 3 years. I absolutely love it. It's just pure organic cold pressed hemp seed, right? So it helps with healing. It's great for psoriasis, great for sensitive skin, great for eczema, dry skin, cracked elbows, people. It's amazing as both a cleansing oil and a moisturizer. It's the only skincare product I haven't used anything else in 3 years. So basically, we're giving away a 30 ml bottle of that and the half bottle of either the oil or the water size. It's two bundles. So one will be
Whatever you decide.
choose between the water. So if taste is a big issue for you, go with the water one. If the oil, if you think you can handle it, go with that. And again, you can change them over then after 2 weeks. And I'm going to throw in a set of my lashes, which are actually the ones I have on me here tonight. And these are the supernatural lashes, which are fabulous if you don't want to look like you have two slugs on your eye. So these are ones I made over the time in COVID, and they're just really natural. They just give you a nice edge, great for daily wear and everything like that. Or if you
Whoa,
don't have, if you're losing your lashes a little bit and you don't want to look like a clown, these are just perfect for daily wear.
so
And
natural looking.
uh,
They're so natural looking.
yeah, I love them because they're so lightweight, like you wouldn't even know they're on you. So what I do is even cut them in half, and you get two sets going because they're lovely and wide. But they say they just give you that lovely little lift without looking like you've got lashes on, which is
Whoa,
natural beauty all the
that's
way.
a great bundle.
Yeah, yeah. So we have basically the three products. Normally they would retail at altogether about €60. We're doing it for €25 for you.
Oh my good God. Okay.
Either the water or the oil, and you get the three products. And they are on the bundles page of our website, focusbyronax.com. We'll leave the link in the comments underneath anyway. But
And you don't have to put in a code or anything.
under the Mary O'Donnell bundle, you're all over it. And yeah, so they're on the bundles page there. And it's just a great way so you can try the products, see how you feel, see how you work. And then when you get them, you'll also be signed into all the information on it. So we'll send you all the information, but all the information on how CBD works is on the website. There's 3 videos. So whether it's anxiety, stress, menopause, or kind of neurodiversity, there's 3 videos which explain absolutely everything, all about the dosages, all about the product and how it works with the body and that. But I actually personally answer all the WhatsApp messages as well. So you can WhatsApp me and ask me anything and I will answer it because again, I know I hate talking to robots.
Same,
I
same.
can't do it. I'm in school. I want to speak to somebody and I want to speak to somebody now. So that's why I don't messages like crazy hours of the night. So thank you so much, Mary, for coming. I know I did most of the talking. When I get told about CBD,
Fascinated.
but it was thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for trying out. I'm so delighted you're having such amazing results with them.
So happy, so pleased. Yeah. Customer
And
for
we
life.
get more regular chats as well about it so we can answer any questions and stuff like that. So watch
I
this
love
space.
it.
Thank you so much, Mary.
Night, everybody.
Bye.